Welcome back everyone, this is Mayank and today we are going to start with the options contract. We have already discussed about the concepts and the questions of forward and futures contract. And in order to understand the options contract, we have to first revise the meaning of the forward and futures contract. So we'll start with the basics and we'll understand it properly before shifting to the practical questions. So just make sure you are free from your mind to discuss about this thing. So this is going to be options contract. Okay. Let's say this is a timeline and you have a spot position in equity, index, commodity like copper, silver, rice, etc. Okay. And you want to hedge that position, then you have to enter into derivatives contract. Now, in order to start the derivative contract, the position in the spot market, having a position in the spot market is not compulsory. If you are using the derivatives market to protect the position on the spot market, then you are called as a hedger. But if you don't have any position in the spot market and still you are entering into derivatives market, starting the position like buying something and selling something, that means you want to gain from this market. The purpose is to gain from this market and then you will be called as a speculator. When you see the pricing here and you compare the pricing in the derivatives market and you find an opportunity that the prices are mismatched, then you will be entering into both the markets in order to buy in a cheaper market, sell in a higher market, so that you can gain a little profit. This is called as arbitraging. So the users of the derivatives market can be categorized into three different parts. First, who come in the derivatives market just to protect the position in the spot market, that is called as hedger. Okay, hedger, you can say that. Sorry for that. So that's a hedger who does the hedging. Second, who doesn't have any position in the spot market but still buys or sells something in the derivatives market. At that time, he is speculating on the prices of the derivatives like forward, futures and options. He is called as the speculator. And the third person, who doesn't have the position in this market, who doesn't have the position in this market either, but still analyzes both the markets and finds that there is an opportunity to gain something by buying in a cheaper market and selling in a higher market. And that person is called as arbitrator. So all the three types of persons will be using the derivatives market for their own purpose, right? Okay. Now, the very first type of derivative that you learned in the derivatives market was the forward contract, where you might decide to buy the stock after 3 months, stock or index, commodity, currency, any type of asset. This is the forward price for that asset you want to buy or sell after 3 months. So if you, let's say for example, if you take a long position, that's mostly going to happen. In the forward contract at 100 rupees, it means that you are promising to buy this asset, whatever the XYZ asset is, after 3 months at 100 rupees. So you have opened a position, long position. There is no need to pay anything in the forward contract. No initial margin, nothing. So no cash flow. Okay. At the end of the 3 months, what is going to happen? At the end of the 3 months or at expiry, what will happen? Obviously, let's say for example, the spot price of that asset was 90 rupees. Okay. Let's say the asset. This is asset XYZ. This is the spot price of this asset. 90 is the spot price of this asset. 100 is the forward price of this asset. And this asset can be, let me be very clear. This asset can be equity, index, commodity, currency or anything else, like, or any other thing. But these are the four major things that you discuss in our syllabus, finance. Okay. Then, now let's say after 3 months, the price of that XYZ asset goes to 70 or 120. Okay. What will happen? There are two prices, like there will be only one prices. We are considering both the sides, lower side also, which is 70, higher side also, which is 120. Now, if the price is 70 on the expiry, due to convergence effect, the forward price will also be 70. Okay. Now what will happen? You had a long position in the forward contract. You will take a short position to close this contract, right? What will be the profit or loss? Whether there will be any profit or there will be a loss. Sir, there will be a loss. The loss will be of 30 rupees. Am I right? You purchased at, you promised to purchase at 100 and now you are selling it at 70. The settlement will happen at 30 and that you will have to pay. That's an outflow to you. Okay. Understood. Again, if the price goes to 120, there will be a profit to you, that will be 20 rupees, because you will be selling at 120, you purchased at 100, the settlement will happen at 20 rupees and that's a profit to you. So that's why I'm not writing it in bracket. Understood the concept? But let me tell you one thing. In this case, if the price goes to 70, there is a loss to you. This 30 rupees will be paid by you to the forward seller. You are having a long position in the forward. That means you are a forward buyer. The other person will be forward seller. His profit is 30, your loss is 30. You may reject to honor the contract. You may default at this particular price because there is a loss of 30 rupees to you. Let's say, for example, this contract is done on the basis of 1 lakh units of XYZ. That means 1 lakh into 30 lakh rupees of the loss that you have to pay to the seller. There are high chances that you will default on this contract. You will say, no, I'm not going to pay you. I understand there is a loss, but I will not pay you. So what's the matter? What's the purpose of entering into a contract at the very first place if you are not desirable to honor the contract in case there is a loss to you? Also, understand, if the price goes to 120, there is a profit of 20 rupees to you and the loss of 20 rupees to him. And if the contract is on 1 lakh number of units, it will be a loss of 20 lakh rupees to the forward seller, the third person, and he may also reject at that time. So there are high chances that in the forward contract default will happen. Like, default will be, one of the party will default, and that's why there was a new concept introduced called as futures. Now let's do the same transaction in futures. The futures price of XYZ asset is 100 and you want to take a long position in that. What will happen? It's very simple, sir. The only thing that you have to pay at the very beginning in order to open this position is initial margin. This is considered as a deposit. It's not an expense. This is a deposit which you will get back at the end. Now, what will happen? Let's say the deposit is 50 rupees, 50%. So 50 rupees is the deposit. Now what will happen at this date? If the market price goes to 70 or 120, the very first thing is you will take a short position to close the contract. See, the transaction is same. You are long in this case, you are long in this case, you will be going short in this case, you are going short in this case. And the profit and loss will also be same. The profit and loss will also be same, but there is one more thing that will happen. Understand? If the price goes to 70, there is a loss of 30 rupees to you. Stock exchange, the exchange will deduct 30 rupees from this deposit of yours. So 50 minus 30, it will pay you 20 rupees. So you will have an inflow of 20 rupees. That's a loss to you because you paid 50 in the beginning and you are receiving only 20 rupees. Okay. But if the price goes to 120, exchange will deposit this profit in your initial margin 50 plus 20. It will give you 70 rupees as an inflow. So at the end, there will always be an inflow to you, which is nothing but the balance amount in the initial margin account, in the margin account. Okay. But there are no chances of defaulting by any of the party, either you or that person. Why? Because whatever can be the loss, it is already taken by the exchange from you as a deposit. So the loss and the profits are adjusted from in the deposit and they are not called from you or given to you separately at the end. So they are adjusted in the margin account and you keep the margin account at any point of time higher than the possible loss or gain. So the balance in the margin account will be higher at all point of time. And that's why the risk of default is not there in the futures. But one thing is for sure, the loss can happen. There can be a loss if the market does not go according to your expectation. See, what was your expectation? What was your expectation? You were long on the forward, you are long on the futures. That means you are expecting the market prices to go up. But instead, if it goes down to 70, you will have to bear the loss. That's for sure. So, what is the everything is common in between forward and futures contract except for the fact that the exchange will take the deposit from you and the profit and loss will be adjusted in the deposit instead of separately calling and asking that from you to avoid the risk of default. And once the margin account is adjusted with the profit or loss, the balance will be given back to you. So in both the cases, you will have an inflow. There is no need to call you and ask for the money if you are if you are supposed to bear the loss. There is no need. So there is no chance of default. Okay. This was the revision. Okay. Imagine you don't have to bear the loss and only you will take the action when there is a profit. Can you say no to the loss in this case, forward and futures? Because you have an obligation to buy at 100, right? As well as an obligation to buy at 100 in the forward as well as futures. But can you say no to the loss? No, this cannot happen. You cannot say no to the loss. You cannot say, I will not bear the losses. I will just take the profit. No. Yes, this is possible in a separate type of contract, which is called as options contract. Now understand the logic of options contract. What will happen? If you decide to buy the asset, see, when you go long on the options contract, you decide to buy the XYZ contract. In this case, if you go long on the options contract, you will have to first decide which type of option contract you want to go long on. So there are two types of options contract. One is called as the call option and another one is called as the put option. I will just explain that here. Okay. One is called as the call option, the another one is called as the put option. So either you are going to decide to buy the option or sell the option. You can sell the option as well. Mostly you will be buying the option in our syllabus. And when you decides to buy the option, there are two types of options, call and put. Call and put. You will have to decide which type of option you need to buy. You want to buy. Okay. If you decides to buy the call option, that means you are deciding to buy the asset. and you are getting a right. That means call option means you are buying the right. See, I will just write it in a proper way. It means buying the right, not the asset, to buy the asset at strike price. This is called as strike price, the price that we are going to decide today itself. In the forward and futures, we used to denote it by forward and futures price F. In this case, options contract, it is the same thing, but we are going to denote it by K, strike price. Okay. If you want to buy the options, but you want to buy put option, that means you are buying the right again to sell the asset at strike price. Okay, simple. It's very apparent from the first step itself that if you are buying the option, if you are going long on the option, that means you are buying the right. But there are two types of option: to buy the asset, to sell the asset. So buying the right to buy the asset, buying the right to sell the asset. So if you want to sell the asset in the futures, you can buy put option. If you want to buy the asset in future, you can buy a call option, obviously. So in this case, you have to decide whether you want to buy the asset or sell the asset first. From the first two parts, it is very apparent that we wanted to buy the asset, and that's why we will go long on call option. Going long on put option means right to sell the asset. We don't want to sell it right now. Okay. So this is called as going long on a call option. Now, let's say the strike price is 100, as we discussed earlier as well. So you have entered into a contract. It's called a long call option. And the strike price is 100. What will happen after 3 months is 70 and 120, and you will have to take the opposite position to close the contract. Exactly. So transactions are same: long, short, long, short, long, short. What will happen? First of all, now once you have taken this position of long call at 100 rupees of the strike price, you need to decide. See, in the forward contract, in order to take this position, you didn't have to pay anything. In the futures contract, in order to take this position, you had to pay initial margin, which was a deposit, that is of 50 rupees. Okay. In this question, what will happen, sir? In this options, whether we have to pay something to open this position or it is free to open this position. First of all, it is not free to open this position. You have to pay. Sir, whether we have to pay initial margin in this case also? No, sir. Initial margin was a deposit in the futures contract. In this case, you will be paying a premium, which is not a deposit, but which is a permanent expense to you of, let's say, 5 rupees. It is very small. Like, it is a small amount as compared to the initial margin. So margin was actually a deposit. So paying a higher amount wouldn't affect the decision of the buyer or the seller, because he knows that he will get back the balance amount in the margin account. But in this case, in the options contract, the buyer of the option, the buyer means this person, one who is going long on the option is getting the right to buy the asset, right to sell the asset. So in order to get the right to buy or sell the asset, he has to pay the premium, which is a permanent expense to him, that is of 5 rupees. And let me tell you one thing, this is the only loss to him, because by paying 5 rupees straight away and considering that straight away at time 0 and considering that as an expense, he ensures that he has the right to say no to the losses. He has the right to say no to the losses. So what is going to happen if the market price goes to 70 on that date? He will take no action. Why he will take no action? That means he will not exercise. This is called as exercise his option. His option, he had this option or the right to buy the asset at 100. Okay, but if the market is at 70 itself, it's better to buy the asset at 70 in the market than to buy the asset at 100. So am I going to exercise this right? Am I going to go and say, oh, give me that asset at 100 rupees? No, I'm not that fool, na? If the market is at 70, why I will be preferring to buy at 100 rupees? So I will say no to this option. I will take no action. I will not exercise this option. That means I will let the option lapse. And if the option lapse, you don't have to do anything. Nobody has to pay anything. The seller of the option will not get anything. He will not pay anything. The buyer means you are also not going to do anything. No cash flows in this case. Understand one thing. If you are going long on the call option, someone else somewhere is going short on this call. He is selling the option to you. You are buying the option. Okay. And the buyer of the option has to pay the premium because he gets the right to decide whether he has to take the action or not. So when there is a loss, it is very apparent that we are not going to take any action. That means we are not going to exercise the option. That means the lapse options will lapse and there will be a zero cash flow in this case. If the market price goes to 120, what will happen? I will take the action. We will take action. Or, yeah, it's better. Then it means that we will exercise the option. And once we exercise the option, it will be a short, basically calling it a shorting the option at 120. We bought it at 100, shorting the option at 120, we'll close the position and there will be a payoff of 20 rupees. So you can clearly see in the option contract, there is no loss to you at expiry or at settlement. If there is a loss, you are not taking the action at the very first place, resulting into not exercising the option and the option will be lapsed. There is no cash flow that will happen between the buyer and seller. But if there is a profit, then you will take the action. That means you will exercise the option. That means you will go short. That means you will settle. Or shorting is not a proper word, but you can say payoff. There will be a payoff in the options contract and that will be 20 rupees which will be received by you. So in option contract, the buyer makes sure that his ultimate expense is the premium amount that he is paying at the very beginning. In both the cases, if the market goes to 70 or 120, you can clearly see that your expense of 5 rupees is confirmed. So in this case, there will be a loss of 5. In this case, there will be a loss of 5. Because we paid that in the beginning, right? So the net loss is 5 and net profit is 15. Understand, this is called as gross payoff. And this is called as net payoff. So what is the difference between gross payoff and net payoff, sir? Premium amount. Gross payoff minus premium paid is equal to net payoff. And it cannot, net payoff can be, see, net payoff can be negative, but gross payoff cannot be negative. There cannot be a loss at the settlement, but the loss can be there in this case. Okay. So this is how it goes. You can relate this option contract with the insurance. What happens when you do the bike insurance or the car insurance? You pay the premium at the beginning for the entire year. That is the total expense to you. Nothing more than that will happen in monetary terms. If you don't meet an accident, then it's well and fine. Your expenses, you will take no action. See, I will just show you. Just take this example. You take insurance in this case. And for that purpose, what you do is you pay the premium, let's say 1200 rupees for the bike. And two things can happen throughout the year. This insurance has a validity of 1 year and this is 1 year. Okay. So we'll take till the end. If there are two possibilities that can happen, you will meet an accident. You met accident, or we can clearly say no accident and accident. If there is no accident, you will take no action. Okay. You will not exercise your insurance right. You have the right in the insurance that you can claim for the losses. But if there is no accident, there is no action that is required and not exercised. The insurance policy will not be exercised and that will lapse at the end of the year, resulting into no cash flow to anyone. The only loss to you is the premium amount that you paid, which is 1200 rupees, and that's all fine. For the cost of 1200 rupees, you were insured throughout the year. But in case you meet an accident, what will happen? You will take action. What kind of action you are going to take? You would want to exercise your policy, insurance policy, and because of that you will file for a claim, and in that claim there will be some kind of claim that you will receive. Let's say for example that's 20,000 rupees. So the loss was assumed and derived as 20,000 rupees, and you will get a claim of 20,000 rupees. That's the refund. So there is a profit to you in that case, and the premium that was permanent expense in both the cases will be 1200 rupees, and the net profit is 18,800. Exactly in this manner the options contracts are settled. So compare the option contract with the insurance. In the option contract you pay the premium, in the insurance also you pay the premium, and this is never given back by the insurance company. This premium will also be not received back to you because this is an expense, this is not a deposit. And after taking the insurance, there are two possibilities: whether you will meet an accident, whether you are not going to meet an accident. If you don't meet an accident, there is no action that is required, no option to be exercised. The insurance policy will lapse at the end of the year, at the expiry, and there is no cash flow from either of the party. Insurance company will not pay anything, you will also not pay anything. The ultimate loss is only 1200 rupees. Okay, if you meet an accident, this is going to be the procedure. So there is one thing which is confirm: the loss to you at the end cannot be more than 1200 rupees, which is equal to the premium that you paid. And to whom? To the buyer of the insurance. To the buyer of the insurance. You are in this case the buyer of the insurance and the company is the seller. And you will see, if you look from the angle of the seller, there is a profit to the seller in this case of 1200 rupees, and there is a loss to the seller in this case of 18,800 rupees. So the profit of the seller is limited, which is 1200, because if the buyer's loss is limited to 1200, the seller's profit will be limited to 1200, because whatever the buyer is paying maximum of 1200 rupees to the seller. So seller's profit cannot go beyond 1200 rupees, but seller's loss can go to unlimited. So there is one thing that you will understand from the options contract. In the options contract, this happens if you are a buyer or if you are a seller. Okay. If you are a buyer, means you are going long on the options or you are going short on the options. And this long can be call put, this short can be call put. But profit of the buyer is unlimited and loss is limited. That is nothing but the premium, to the extent of premium amount. But to the seller, the profit is limited and the loss is unlimited. And it's very simple, sir. The profit of the buyer is the loss of the seller, and the loss of the buyer is the profit of the seller, because the cash flows happen between these two parties. So you need to remember this all the time. Okay. So we started with this. You have understood this particular concept. We are going to see some questions, look at some questions in the beginning on this particular part to clear the concepts of option before moving over to find out the value of this 5 rupees. Do you remember one thing? In the forward and futures also, this was the theoretical, like we used to calculate this price as well. This is the actual market price, but we used to calculate the theoretical price as well. In this case also, the value of the option is not 100, sir. The value of the option is 5 rupees, the amount that we are paying. And first we will just take it from the question, and after few questions, after understanding the concepts of the options, we will see how to find out theoretically the value of the option, this premium, how to find out theoretical premium. So there are 2-3 ways to find out the theoretical premium, but we'll look at that after some point. So let's start with the options contract questions. Okay, so this is going to be your first question, question number 45. It's a small question. Let's have a look. Mr. KK purchased a 3-month call option for 100 shares in PQR Limited. Understand the meaning of each and every word. So this is the person, investor. He purchased means he is long on the options. Okay. And 3 month is the validity, the expiry of that call option. Call means the right to buy asset, and this is an option contract, not the forward and futures. 100 shares is the total amount, total quantity on which he has taken the call option. PQR Limited is the asset, the stock of PQR Limited at a premium. This is the premium. This is called as V0. What is the meaning of V? V is the value of the option. That's the premium of 40 per share with an exercise price of 560. 560 is nothing but K, exercise price of 560. Now let's understand the meaning of it. So Mr. KK, an investor, wants to buy the stock of PQR Limited after 3 months. Okay, after 3 months at a price of 560. For that purpose, he has paid the premium of 40 rupees today. That means if the prices are favorable after 3 months, he will buy it at 560. Only if the market price in the spot market is higher. If in the market after 3 months it is available at a 600 rupees, 700 rupees or more than 560, then only it's worth exercising the option at 560. Okay. Anytime I'm going to buy the stock only at a lower price. So the market price on that date should be higher so that I am interested in exercising this option at a lower price. Okay. Question 45. So this is the timeline, and this is, let's say, spot market. There will be some price at this point, and this is options market, that means derivatives market, and there is a strike price. Now we are not going to use the word F here, we are going to use K. The strike price is 560. Okay, do you have to pay this much of the amount? No sir, this is just a contract price. The amount that you have to pay is the premium, which is 40. Okay, now this means that, and this is a call option. This is a call option. In place of V0, you can write down C0 as well. C0 means the value of the call option, which is premium, which is 40. So you can buy the asset after 3 months at 560, and you have the right to buy. If the prices are not in your favor on that date, you can straight away reject and let the option lapse. So market price falls to 360 at the end of the 3 month. I just wanted this figure. So let's say, for example, the market price goes to 360 on that date. What will happen? Are you going to buy the shares at 560? No. So at that time, what I'm going to do? I will take no action, sir. No action in the call option. It is not worth taking action in the call option. Who is going to buy at 560 when the market is available at 360? Okay. Let's read it further. He also purchased a 3-month put option. What do you mean by the put option? Put option means right to sell the asset. Which asset? The stock of PQR Limited on for 100 shares of the same company at a premium of 10 rupees per share. So he also purchased, now I am going to say P0 is the premium of put option, and he paid around 10 rupees to buy the right to sell the asset at 460 after 3 months. So he has both the things in his portfolio, call option and put option. He is the buyer of the call option and the buyer of the put option. Buyer of the call option has the right to buy the asset, the stock, at this price after 3 months. But it seems that if the market price is 360, it will be waste for us. It will be totally useless for us to buy the asset at 560. We will prefer not to take any action, and the cash flow in call option is zero because the option is getting expired or lapsed. But if you look at the put option, you can sell this stock at 460 rupees after 3 months. And you can see that in the market, the price is 360. It is very profitable to sell this stock at 460 when the market is selling it at 360. You are able to sell it at 100 rupees extra more than the spot price. So yes, you are going to take some action. You will exercise this put option and you are ready to sell it at 460, and the profit will be 100 rupees in this case. I'm just going to repeat everything. Just focus on now. With an exercise price of 460, the market price of the share on the date of purchase of the option is 500. See, the market price of the share on the date I purchased all these options is 500. So this is nothing but the spot price. Okay. Compute the profit or loss that Mr. KK would make assuming that the market price falls to 360 at the end of 3 months. So now this is the entire situation in front of you. Today the stock was selling at 500 rupees. You have purchased a call option in which you have the right to buy the share at 560. Okay. And you also have the right to sell the shares at 460. So call option and put option, there are two different options that you are carrying forward from this date till the expiry. You can exercise both the option. Now you will say that how can we buy and sell the share at the same time? A single share can be bought and sold at the same time. No sir, this is not the share that you are buying. This is the right that you have bought. So if you are buying the right, you will be selling the right. It will be settled in the options contract itself. In reality, no shares will be bought, no shares will be sold. It's just the option. So the payoff will be settled in this case. And at expiry, what will happen, sir? If the spot price is 360, the call option price, the strike price of this option will be 360. The strike price of this option will be 460. Now, understand, at expiry due to convergence effect, the strike price will be 360 in this market, call option, and the strike price of put option will also be 360. Now you tell me, you have the right to buy the shares in this option and sell the shares in this option at this price. So if the market is going at 360, are you going to buy it? Are you ready to buy the share at 560? No sir, I'm not ready. I'm not willing to buy it at 560. So what are you going to do? You have the right. Now you let the option lapse. You take no action. Let the option lapse and the payoff will be zero. Nobody pays, no one. Okay, anyone. Now, if the market is at 360, if the market price is 360 and you have the right to sell at 460, are you ready to sell? Yes sir, because I can see the profit, and the option buyer only acts when there is a profit. So you will take action. You will exercise the option and the payoff will be 100 rupees. How come 100 rupees? It's the difference between the beginning price and the ending price. You sold the you have a selling right at 460. So you can sell it at 460 when the market is going at 360. that means you have a profit by exercising your right that okay, I'm ready to sell it at 460. You sell it at 460 and you buy it at 360, so you have a profit of 100 rupees. Okay, how to write it in exam? It's very simple, sir. First of all, since the market price at the end of 3 months falls to 360, which is below the exercise price under call option, the exercise price of the call option was 560. Okay, and the spot price on the expiry is below the strike price of option. What will happen? The call option will not be exercised, and the only option that will be exercised is put option. So what will happen in put option? You will have a gain of 100 rupees. Okay, now total gain per 100 shares, because you have taken this position on 100 shares, so the total gain will be 10,000. Right, sir. There are only 3 outflows and inflows to you in this question. You paid 40 in the beginning, you paid 10 in the beginning. So in total you paid 50 rupees per share, and it was on 100 shares. That means you paid 5,000 rupees in total. That's your outflow. And at the end you received 100 rupees on 100 shares of the put option because the call option has been lapsed. So in total you received 10,000 shares. So clearly this is a cash outflow, this is a cash inflow, and the profit is 5,000 rupees. 10,000 minus 5,000. See, are you okay with this? One more thing to learn from this is, let's take the option. First, let's take the call option and put option. Understand the meaning of it. Call option is, it gives the right to buy underlying asset, and this gives the right to sell the asset. And let me tell you one thing, if you want to buy something, you would want to buy it at a lower price, obviously. So the buying price in the call option is the strike price. The selling price in the call option, a put option, is the strike price. Are you okay with this? Now you understand one thing. Anyone would want to buy at a lower price. So you would prefer in the call option, you would prefer that K should be lower because you want to buy it at a lower price. And when it comes to selling something at K price, what do you want this to be? It should be higher than whatever is going on in the market. So you would expect this should be higher. Am I right? Now, lower than what? K should be lower than the current spot price on that date. Or simply I can write down lower than the spot price, right? Higher than the spot price. So can I say ultimately K should be lower than the spot price in this case, and K should be higher than the spot price in this case. Okay, if it is lower, we will exercise this option. We will exercise put option. So now we can just frame this entire situation in a simple box, that when to exercise, when not to exercise, when there will be a profit, when there will be nothing. So have a look. From the angle of the buyer holder of option, you can call the buyer of the option as a holder of the option as well. Okay. When it is a case of call option, when it's a case of call option, when it's a case of put option. Okay. When to exercise and when not to exercise. Simple. At whether you want to exercise or not depends upon the strike price, which is K. And please remember, the K should be lower, because call means the right to buy. Call means the right to buy, and the K should be lower. We would always prefer to buy at a lower price. So this should be lower, and then only we are going to exercise. K should be lower than the spot price, right? And if the K is higher than the spot price, we are not going to exercise. There will not be any kind of a profit or payoff. And in case of put option, this is a right to sell. The selling price should be higher. So K should be higher than the spot price. And only then we will exercise, otherwise not. So you need to remember this. There will be payoff only in this case, and this case. Whenever you are going to exercise the option, you will have some payoff, otherwise zero. In this case, payoff will be there, and in this case it will be zero. One thing. Okay. One more thing that we can add is call means the right to buy. And this means the right to sell. Okay. So call means the right to buy, and the buying price should be lower. That's why K should be lower than the spot price at the time of exercise. And if it is not lower, we will not exercise. Simple and plain. Okay. So we can follow this table at all point of time to find out what should be the action in any question. This is going to help you in the next question as well. So this is logically framed. You don't have to mug up. Next question is similar to this one, and you are going to take the homework because we are going to discuss some other question. It is similar to the previous one. Okay, so have a look on this question number 47 in front of you. The equity shares of VCC Limited is quoted at 210 rupees. Okay. And a 3-month call option is available at a premium of rupees 6 per share. See, this is the price of the equity share. That means it is for the spot market. Okay. 210. If you want the share today, or if you want to buy it today, 210 will be the price. If you want to sell it today, 210 will be the price. But if you want to do some transactions in future and you want to fix the price today itself, then option contract is open. Now, a call option for 3 months expiry, that means if you want to buy the stock, is available at a premium of rupees 6, and if you want to sell the stock, the option on that is put option, is available at a premium of rupees 5. For both the options, the strike price is 220. So if you want to buy it after 3 months, 220 is the price. If you want to sell it after 3 months, 220 is the price. You decide whether you want to buy, call option or put option. Now, ascertain the net payoffs to the option holder of a call and a put option. So there is one investor, or we can say a trader, who has bought one call and one put option. It is clearly written that he is the holder of the option. Holder means he has taken a long position on the call and the put option. See, question number 47. This is the timeline. Now spot 210 rupees if you want it today. In options, we have a strike price. This is spot, this is strike, 220. Okay. Now, if you want to buy the stock after 3 months at 220, call option is available at rupees 6. And if you want to sell this stock at 220 after 3 months, the put option is available at 5. You can take both the options. Sir, how it is possible to buy and sell the same stock at the same time? It is possible because you're not in reality or physically, you are not selling the stock in the option market or buying the stock in the option market. It's just a contract which you are opening today, which you will be closing today. So the contract is opening today, the contract will be closing today. It's not that you are going to buy the share in reality. If you really want to buy or sell the stock, this will be the price after 3 months in the spot market. Okay, so don't worry about it. You can take as many as contracts as you want, call, put, a mix of both or anything. Okay, so this is the scenario. Now understand that you have to calculate the net payoffs. The share price on the exercise day is, there are 5 different prices. So in the spot market, the share prices are 210, 220, 230 and 240. So there are 5 different prices which may be possible at the expiry. Now at every possible price, you need to show what is the net payoff of the option holder. This option holder has one call and one put in his portfolio. One call means he has a right to buy and he will exercise this option only when the buy option is only exercised when the strike price is lower than the spot price. And the sell option is exercised only when the price that at which he wants to sell, that is the strike price, is greater than the spot price. Otherwise the option will not be exercised. Okay, have a look. Call option 6 rupees, right? So what is going to happen? Just have a look. If the market is in the market after 3 months the stock rate is 200, will you be ready to buy it at 220? In the call option you can buy it at 220. When the market is at 200, why I will be buying the stock, I will be ready to buy the stock at 220? I will not do that, because you can clearly see that the strike price, which is 220, is not less than the spot price. It is greater than the spot price for the call option. So I'm not going to exercise the option here because it's a loss to me. Nobody does that. If something is available in the cheaper market at if something is available in the market at a cheaper rate, why you are going to buy it at a higher rate, right? So you will not exercise the option until the condition of strike price is less than spot price is met. So 220 is less than 230. From this point onwards, this condition gets fulfilled, and then only you are going to exercise the call option. That means you will be ready to buy the stock at 220 when the market price of the same is 230. You can still bag a profit of 10 rupees, right? So you will exercise the option in this case. And if there is any other price after 240, you will exercise the option in all those cases. See, if the price goes anything beyond this, you will exercise the option. If the price goes anything beyond this on the left hand side, that means if it keeps on decreasing, you will not exercise the option. Okay. Also know that when you don't exercise the option, you don't get anything. There is no cash flow at that time. So no cash flow and no cash flow. But when you exercise the option, what happens is that exchange will give you the payoff. The payoff is the difference between the spot and the strike price. 230 rupees, 220 rupees, 10 rupees is the payoff when you exercise the option. Please understand how. You will be buying the stock at 220. You are ready to buy the stock at 220 under call option, and you can sell the same at 230 in the spot market. So this is what stock exchange knows that, and that's why what the exchange is going to do, they are going to straight away give you 10 rupees and then you do whatever you want to do now. The option contract with the exchange is closed by receiving 10 rupees. Now if you really want to buy the stock, go to the spot market, pay 230 rupees there if you really want to. Otherwise there is no need. Pay 230 rupees and then you can say that 10 rupees is received from the exchange, 230 paid here. The net amount paid to buy the stock is 220, because out of 230, 10 rupees will be used, which is being paid by the exchange. Okay, so from your pocket you will be only paying 220 in that case, and this condition is fulfilled then. But what happens most of the time is this is only possible when you want to hedge through option. In hedging, what happens is that we really buy the stock. But in speculation, we just play on the prices. There is no need to do any transaction in the spot market if we are a speculator and if our purpose is only to have a profit or loss. In this case, we have a profit. We can go to home by closing the position. Now, let's look at the second price. Here you will be profiting with 20 rupees, 240 in the market and 220 as agreed with the exchange. So exchange will have to give you 20 rupees and the option contract will get closed. So this is what will happen in the call option. Now let's look at the put option. For put option, you have paid premium of 5 rupees. And if the market price after 3 months goes to 200 rupees, you will be ready to sell it at 220. Why? Because in the market, it is selling it at lower price and you have the right to sell the same stock at 220. So yes, you can just simply buy the stock from the market, sell it in the put option. This is what we can say. But what exactly is going to happen? Exchange knows that you are at a better side. So what exchange is going to do? You will exercise the option and you will get 20 rupees. See, in all the cases when the strike price is greater than spot price, you are going to exercise the put option, because we need the selling price to be higher, and in that case when you compare 220 and 200, the strike price is higher. So we will be selling it, exercise. In this case also you will exercise and you will bag the profit of 10 rupees. In this case you will not exercise, in this case you will not exercise, in this case you will not exercise. Now understand why. See, 220 is not greater than 230. Our condition is K should be greater than spot price. The selling price that we agreed should be higher, but when we compare it with 230, it is not higher. Na? Why we will sell the asset at 220 when the market is going at 230? We can simply go to the market and sell it at 230. Why 220? So we are not going to exercise this option. And if we don't exercise this option, there will be no payoff. Now, if you do the total, you will receive the gross payoff. 20, 10, 0, 10, 20. So when you net off all the call option, all the payoffs from the call option and put option, you come to this figure, which comes to the gross payoff. Now, all these are the cash flows at the end of the third month. But in order to receive all these, you paid premium in the very beginning. This is called as deduction of the expenses. So premium paid by you, including the call and put option. You have purchased the call option, you have purchased the put option. Both the options has been purchased by you. So what are you going to do? You are going to pay the premium. So you paid the premium of 11 rupees in all the cases. It doesn't matter whether you are exercising the option or not. This has been the expense at the very beginning. So whatever you do at the expiry is nothing is related to the premium. So premium once gone is gone. Now you can calculate the net payoff. This is called as the net payoff. That is the net profit. 9 minus 1 minus 11 minus 1, 9. So this is the end of your question. Question asked us to calculate the net payoff of the option holder, not the net payoff of the call option separately and the put option separately. Now this is what the mistake is done in the question. They have taken it they have taken a long approach to solve the question. When this question can be solved simply in this much of the table or this much of the area, why to do so much of the calculations? One. Second thing, there are some mistakes in the answer by the institute. What are the mistakes? I will tell you. See, let's consider the call option. Okay, the share prices on the different days, the expiry day is given to you, what will happen? Option will exercise or not? See, simply the call option is exercised. Call means right to buy. Buy means lower price. The strike price should be lower. If you can see, the strike price is not lower in the first three cases, and that's why we are not exercising the option. In the rest of the two prices, the strike price 220 is lower, and that's why we are exercising. Now the third part, they say that there is an outflow of the strike price. Why? Because we wanted to buy the stock, and right now we are buying the stock at 220. This is totally wrong. I understand and I agree that the call option has a meaning. The call option has a meaning of right to buy the asset at 220. But in option contract, there is no cash outflow at the strike price. What happens in the options and the futures contract is the cash settlement at the time of squaring off. So if you have purchased the option, you can sell the option at the end and you can back the profit or loss, profit if you want in the case of options. So please understand, 220 will never be the cash flow at the beginning or at the end. It is just the price of the contract. The real cash inflow and outflow are only three figures. See, one is this at the beginning, second is this. That's it. There is no other cash flow in the option contract. What happens is the net settlement, cash settlement. So writing 220 as an outflow is totally wrong. Outflow of the premium is right. For the call option, you paid a premium of 6 rupees in each case, and then this is the total outflow. This is also wrong. Total outflow is never 220. Then less inflow. This is also wrong. What is the inflow? They are saying that you will buy the stock at 220 and you will sell the stock at 230. Who is going to give you the stock at 220? Exchange? No, sir. Exchange will ask you to go to the market and buy the stock at 230 if you really want to buy it. This is just the contract that we have made, and it will be settled in cash only. No real asset will be exchanged in this case. So there is something wrong in the answer, the presentation. However, the net payoff is totally right. If you do it with the put option, minus 6 and 15 goes to 9. Minus 6 and 5 goes to minus 1. Minus 6 and minus 5 goes to minus 11, minus 1 and 9. So the net payoff is right, but the presentation is wrong. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Also indicate the price range at which the call and put option may be gainfully exercised. So what is most important in this case is the word gainfully. I will just explain that to you. See, let's consider the call option. Okay. The strike price is 220. That means at this price you can buy the asset. But in order to buy this option, you paid a premium of 6 rupees. Okay. So let's consider the spot price at maturity to be 200. Are you going to exercise the option? No. You are not going to exercise the option. When do we exercise the call option? Only when the strike price is lower than the spot price. Now you compare the strike price and you compare the spot price. Tell me one thing. Do you think strike price is lower than the spot price? No, sir. Who is going to buy at 220 when the product is available at 200? Nobody. So option will be exercised? No. Option will not be exercised. So there is no cash flow. Okay, let's take the price as 210. Option will still not be exercised because of this condition is not met. So not exercised. 0. At 220 also the option will not be exercised because it should be greater than, strike price should be lesser than the spot price, not even equal. So not exercised. There's no benefit in exercising. See, buying at 220 and selling at 220. What is the benefit in that? In fact, you are wasting your time in exercising the option. Time also has value. Now, if you go to 222, just understand 222, 224, 225, 226, 227, 228, or let's say 225, 226, 227, 228, or let's take 230. Okay. So At 222, are you going to exercise the option? Yes, sir, because the condition is met. Strike price of 220 is lower than 222 of the spot price. So we are going to exercise the option. We are going to exercise at all the prices above 220, right? Because then this condition will be fulfilled. Now, once we exercise the option, we will have some payoff, and the payoff will be decided as the difference between the spot and the strike price. So 2, 5, 6, 7, 10. So these are the payoffs. But now understand, in all the cases, you paid a premium of 6. It doesn't matter the price, what is the price at the expiry. The premium was paid by you at the beginning of the month itself, or at the beginning of the contract itself, when you didn't know about what is going to be the price after 3 months. So premium will be deducted from all the cases as a permanent expense. Now you can see that this is the net profit, minus 6, minus 6, minus 6. So in this case, you are having losses. But from this point, understand, but from this point you have started reducing the losses, right? And after this point you will start having the profit. So 1, 4 and so on. So there are 3 phases you need to understand. First, this phase is a non-exercise phase where you are suffering some losses. This phase is an exercise phase. See, here you are exercising the option, but you are not exercising it gainfully, because the ultimate answer is a loss. Sir, if the ultimate answer is a loss, then why we are exercising it? We are trying to reduce the losses, because minus 6 is the maximum loss. 6 is the premium that you paid, and that is the maximum loss. If you get an opportunity to reduce the loss, obviously an investor will do that. And in this case, we are exercising the option so that some profit can at least reduce the loss. So this loss is being reduced till this point. So after 220, we agree that we are going to exercise the option, but until and unless it gets to 220 plus 6, that is 226, we will not be in a profit. So until 226, we will be recovering the losses only, or recovering the premium only. So at this price 226, the net profit will be 0. So anything beyond 226 will be resulting into exercise and gainfully exercised. So this is the situation where you are gainfully exercising, and the question is asking about this situation. So are you comfortable with the answer now? The answer is anything after 226 will be a point where you will exercise the option gainfully. A lot of people will say that 220 is the price, sir, after which we are going to exercise. No, after which we are surely going to exercise, but not gainfully. Gainful exercise will start after 226. Have you understood? The price plus the premium that you wanted to pay. You wanted to buy the stock, that means this is kind of a cash outflow in the spot market. This is also an outflow. So 220 plus 6 is 226. So after 226, we can gainfully exercise the option. Now comes the put option. Understand what happens in the put option. If the strike price is 220 and you are paying the premium of 5 rupees, this is where you will be selling the stock, and you will sell the stock only when the strike price is greater than the spot price. Am I right in this case? 220, when we have to sell it, we will make sure that this is the highest of the possible prices. Now 220 is higher than the spot price in this case also. You need to tell us what is the point in put option where we will exercise the option but gainfully. So have a look. It's nothing but 215 rupees. 220 is the inflow when we sell the stock at 220. If we sell the stock at 220, and this is the expense. So inflow outflow will be netted off. So net off. So 220 minus 5 will be 215. 215 is a price where we will exercise the option gainfully. Now have a look on the spot prices. So understand that if it is 230, you are not going to exercise. Why? Because the strike price of 220 is not greater than the spot price. Spot price is greater in this case. So if it's 220, you are still not going to exercise the option. And if it comes down to 219, you will exercise the option. Because at that time 220 will seem to be higher than the spot price. 220 is higher than 219. So you will exercise the option and the payoff will be 1, but the loss is 5, the premium, and the net payoff is 4 only, minus 4. So yes, we are exercising at this point, but not gainfully. Do you understand? Not gainfully. At 217 also we will exercise the option and we will have 3 rupees of the payoff, but the premium paid is minus 5 and this is minus 2. So yes, we are exercising the option but not gainfully. So at which point we will start exercising the option, that too gainfully? So 215, 5 minus 5, 0, exercising the option, again not gainfully. So this entire phase till 215 is exercising but not gainfully. This was the phase of not exercising altogether. Now, after 215, let's say it falls down to 214. So yes, we will exercise, 6 rupees will be the profit, 5 is the loss, 1 rupees will be the profit. Let's say it goes to 210, exercise, 10 rupees of the profit, 5 rupees of the premium, 5 rupees of the profit. Now you can see you are exercising, but you are exercising also in this phase and that too gainfully. So there are two answers to this question, 200 and gainfully. Anything after 215 and 226 will be a good range. After means above 226, below 215 is a good range for gainfully exercising the call and put option. How to calculate that? 220 in case of buy option, 220 plus 6, 226. In case of selling, 220 minus 5. Because 5 and 6 are the outflows. This is outflow, this is inflow. See. 226 and not 226, it's above 226 and below 215. At 226 and 215, it's 0 profit and loss. Okay, sir, let's come to the next question. Question number 48. Interesting one. Have a look. Mr. John established the following spread on TTK Limited's stock. Spread means a position. Okay. He purchased. You can clearly see that the first part is he is long. 1 3-month put option and in the second part it's a call option. Put and call. With a premium of rupees 15 and 19, both are his outflows. Why? Because he has purchased the option. So whether you purchase a call option or put option, you are buying the right to sell and to buy. See, what happens when you buy the option is you get the right to. Buying the right to sell and in put option it's buy the asset with a premium of 15 and 90, and in this case the exercise price is 900, in this case the exercise price is 1100. So you can clearly see that there are two things. Let's write down call and put. In call option you can buy the stock at 1100 and you have already paid a premium of 90 in that. And in put option you can sell the stock at 900. Sir, why I will buy at a higher price and sell at a lower price? Please understand, my friend, you cannot compare 900 with 1100. They both of them are two different transactions or two different contracts. So there is no point in comparing this. These are the strike price which will be compared with the spot price after 3 months. If the spot price of the put option, if the spot price of the stock is lower than the put option's strike price, it will be profitable for us to sell it at 900. Or in other word, you would always want the put option's strike price to be higher than spot price. And you would always want the call option's strike price to be lower than spot. Simple. So you will only exercise if the spot price is, or we can say 900 is greater than the spot price and 1100 is less than the spot price. Only in this case the options will be exercised. Now let's have a look. TTK Limited stock is currently selling at 1000. This is the spot price today, not after 3 months, today. Calculate the gain or the loss if the price of the stock of TTK Limited remains at 1000. Today it's 1000, after 3 months also it is at 1000. After 3 months it falls to 700 and after 3 months it goes to 1200. Assume the size of the option is 200 share. It's not just one share on which you have made a contract. It's 200 shares. And the question is very simple, sir. Very simple in all the three cases. Question number 48. First, I will explain that to you with the timeline. Today, the spot price is 1000. Okay. And there are two options. Call options, the strike price is 1100. You can buy the share at 1100 after 3 months, for which you paid a premium of 90 rupees, I think. Yes. And we have a put option, the strike price of which is 900, at which you can sell the stock, and you paid a premium of 15 in that. At this price you can buy the stock and at this price you can sell the stock. Okay. After 3 months the prices are 1700 and 1200. Understand, 1700 and 1200. Now tell me one thing. First of all, when do you think you are going to exercise the call option? It's very simple, sir. Whenever the strike price is lower, this should be lower. So K should be lower than the spot price. So any figure, any spot price which is higher than 1100 will be sufficient for our purpose. So we are not going to exercise this option at this price. Why? Because if the stock is available at 1000 rupees, why I will buy at 1100? I will not do that if I have the right. Again, if the stock is available in the market at 700 rupees, why do you think I'm going to buy it at 1100? I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do, I will not exercise the option. I will let the option lapse. Okay. But in this case, I will exercise the option because I have the right to buy the stock at 1100 when it is going 1200 in the market. So instead of buying at 1200, I will exercise the option and I can buy the stock at 1100. The moment you exercise the option only, then you get the payoff, and that is 100 rupees. How come the 100 rupees? The difference between the spot price and the strike price. Okay, sir. Now consider the put option. In this case, you can sell the stock at 900. You will obviously want the strike price to be highest possible. So it should be higher than the spot price. Any spot price which is lower than 900 will be good for us. So 1000 is not lower than 900, right? So we are not going to exercise the option. When we can sell it in the market at 1000, why we would want to sell it at 900? We will not do that. If the market price is 700, isn't it good to sell it at 900? Yes, sir. So we will sell the option. When the market price is 1200, is it good to sell the stock at 900? No, sir. We will not sell the option. So not to exercise the option. Only when it is being exercised, then you can see the payoff. So the payoff will be 900 minus 700. The difference between the spot and stock. Now if you do the total, no cash flow, 200 rupees of the cash flow and 100 rupees of the cash flow. In total from both the options. If the market goes to 1000, we will not have any kind of a cash flow because the buying price is higher than 1000, selling price is lower than 1000. So both are not profitable. Okay. If the market goes to 700, obviously we are not going to buy at 1100, but we will sell at 900 and grab the profit of 200. And in this case, we will exercise the call option, not the put option. So in total, we will have this much of the gross payoff. Right. From this, we can deduct the premium that we paid for both the options, which is nothing but 90 and 15. We have paid 105 and 105, and this will be the net payoff. Minus 105, 95 and minus 5. Total number of share 100, 100, 100. net payoff again 10,500 loss, 9,500 profit and 500 loss. Simple. So this is your final answer. Isn't it easy? First you calculate the gross payoff, deduct the premium that you paid. This is the net payoff, but all these calculations were done on single share. We have to take 100 shares, so multiply it with 100 shares and you will get the net payoff. Minus 10,500, 9,500 positive and 500 negative. Have a look. Okay, that's my mistake. It's not 100 share, it's 200 shares. So I will have to just update the answer. Let's take 200. So this is going to be 21,000 negative. This will be 19,000 and this will be 10,000 negative. So now let's check the answer. 21,000 negative, 19,000 positive and 1,000 loss. 1,000? 10,000. Let me just check once again. Okay. Obviously it is 1,500. 5 rupees into 200. So this is how you have to present the answer. You can do it like this also. You can do it like this also. Whichever suits you is okay. Don't worry about the presentation. The final answer should match. So this was all about the question number 48. You can do question number 49. It's very same, like similar to the question number 48. In this case, you have 1,000 shares. There are 3 different prices. You have purchased one call put at this premium and the exercise price is 110 and 90. So mostly this question matches with the question number 48 and this is good for the practice if you have time. So 49 is your homework. Let me just see if there is something new in this to discuss. This is also your homework, a small part of that. 51 is going to be the next cash flow, next question, and this has some ambiguities that we are going to discuss. Let's have a look. So let's have a look on this question number 51. A call and a put. A call and a put. Both the options, the right to buy and right to sell, exist on the same stock, each of which is exercisable at rupees 60. Okay, sir. They now trade for this much. See, market price of the stock or index is 55. This is going to be your exercise price. That means 60 rupees. At 60 rupees, you can buy the stock under call option. You can sell the stock under put option. But in reality, it will be a cash settlement. Market price of stock or stock index is 55. This is the spot price today. The premium market price of call is C0 and P0. This is called as the premium that you have to pay to buy the call and put option. Okay. So if you buy the call option, you will have to pay the premium of 9 rupees. To whom? The one who is going to sell the call option. So if you buy the call option, you pay the premium. If you sell the call option, you receive the premium. The seller is called as, see, buyer is called as holder of the option and seller of the option is called as writer. Okay. Now, he holds the option, he writes the option, he pays the premium and he receives the premium. Premium is the maximum loss to the holder of the buyer and premium is the maximum income to the writer of the buyer, to the seller of the option. So you need to be very clear about it, because in this question, sometimes you will be the buyer, sometimes you will be the seller. Calculate the expiration date cash flow, investment value and net profit. On expiration date, what is going to happen under option? For all this is happening under option contract. So on expiry, what will happen? There will be some kind of payoff if you are exercising the option. If the right, who has the right to exercise? Buyer has a right to exercise the option. Seller doesn't have the right. Okay. And you have to calculate the investment value and the net profit. So net profit is easy. expiration date cash flow is easy. We will discuss about the investment value as well. If you buy one call option, write one call option, buy one put option and write one put option. So there are 4 different categories, and on expiration date the stock price can be anything out of these 5 different prices. Now expiration date cash flows is given to you. Have a look. See, first of all, let's understand what is buy one call option. If you buy one option, you pay the premium, and the premium of the call option is 9 rupees. So in the beginning you paid 9 rupees. Am I right? In the beginning you paid 9 rupees to buy the option. So premium will be paid by you, and the same will be received by the writer. If you are the buyer, the other person will be the writer. And if you are the buyer of the put option, the other person will be the writer of the put option. He paid 1 rupees and he received 1 rupees. Investment value is this much only, na? This is the investment in the option. This is the investment in the option. Okay. Let me just solve the question by myself because there are some differences in the answer. Question number 50, 51, 51. Buy call, sell call, buy put, sell put. And they are saying 50, 55, 60, 65 and 70. The strike price is 60. Spot price is 50, 55, 60, 65 and 70. Am I right? Okay. And what are we exactly calculating? See, they are saying what are the cash flows on the expiry date. This is the spot price, this is the strike price, and there are different types of spot prices here. What is the cash flow at expiry? At expiry, if you don't exercise the option, there is no cash flow. And if you exercise the option, there is a cash flow, which is the difference between spot and strike price. Have a look. If you buy the option, you have the right to buy the stock at 60 rupees. Why you will buy the stock at 60 rupees when the price is 50 in the market? You will not exercise the option, the cash flow is 0. The call option is only exercised when the strike price is less than spot price. The put option is only exercised when the strike price is greater than spot price. Now understand, from this point of view, strike price should be lesser than spot price. 60 should be lesser than this. 60 is less than this? No. 60 is less than this? No. 60 is less than this? No. So in all the 3 cases, market is giving us the lower price than this option, and that's why the option will not be exercised. If it is not exercised, there is no cash flow in the option. Now if the market rate is 65 and we have the right to buy the stock at 60, it's great. This particular condition is satisfied. 60 is less than 65, you will exercise the option, and the payoff in the option will be 5 rupees. Payoff in this option will be, in this case, will be 10 rupees. 70 minus 60 is your profit, is your gross profit, which will be given by the stock exchange to you on the settlement of the option. It will automatically be considered as you are exercising the option. There is no need to get a special permission from you whether you are going to exercise on this or not, because on this price you have a clear profit of 5 rupees and exchange will give it to you and in your account, margin account. 70 minus 60, 10 rupees. Did you get that? On the other hand, there is a seller of the option. On the other hand, there is a seller of the option who has taken this risk. So it's all in all, whatever is the profit of the buyer, it will be the loss of the seller. So this will look like minus 5 and minus 10. So instead of writing this dash, let me just write down 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Or we can easily say that not exercised. Please understand, this seller of the option has given you the right to buy at 60. Seller of the option, seller minus means seller of the call option has given the buyer of the call option the right to buy the stock at 60. So if the buyer of the option is exercising his right, the seller has nothing but the obligation to honor the contract. And under that obligation, there can only be losses to the seller, because the only profit to the seller is the premium that he has received in the beginning. Imagine insurance company. They are selling the insurance to you. What else is the profit to them apart from the premium that you are paying? No. And if there is supposed to be any kind of a cash flow apart from the premium between you and insurance company, it will always be insurance company paying you for the claims for the accident that has happened. Insurance company will never ask for money from you, understand, except for the premium in the beginning. So there will, at expiry, there will always be a negative figure, the loss to the seller of the option, whether it is a call or put, because they have given you the right and you will exercise only when there is a profit to you. That means there is only loss that can happen to them at expiry. The good part about these guys are, the sellers are, if they receive the premium in the beginning, no matter what the price will be at the end. So in this case, in the beginning they have received the premium and there is nothing that they are paying at the end. So there is a net profit to them. In this case also, when the price is 55, the seller has received the premium in the beginning and they don't have to pay anything at this point. So still they are left with the profit. In this case also they are left with the profit. Whenever buyer of the option exercises the option, there will always be a loss to the seller. Understand that. Let's take the put option. You can sell the asset at 60 rupees. You are going to do it only when this 60 rupees is greater than the spot price. Do you think the 60 is greater than 50? Yes, sir. Do you think the buyer of the put option will exercise his right? Yes, sir. And the exchange will give you the difference between these two, that is 10 rupees is the payoff. In this case 5 rupees is the payoff. Do you think 60 is greater than 60? No. 60 is greater than 65? No. 60 is greater than 70? No. In all the other cases, the option will not be exercised. And this put option is exercising at this rate means you are getting 10 rupees from the seller. So there will be a outflow to the seller, loss. And the good part in this case is, in the rest of the three cases, is seller doesn't have to pay anything. So these are going to be the expiration date cash flow. What do you mean by the expiration date cash flow? That at expiry, when the option gets settled, what is the cash flow? So cash flow is nothing but the difference between the spot price and the strike price only if the option is exercised. If the option is not exercised, then there is no cash flow. But the mistake in the question is that what they are doing is this. They are considering the entire 60 as the cash flow, which is totally wrong. 60 can be the cash flow, I will tell you. 60 can be the cash flow on that date if you buy the stock in the spot market at 65 and you settle the option at plus 5, and then minus 60 can be the answer. So this 60 is derived. The 60 is arrived at this, like you come to this figure only when you really buy the stock in the spot market. Now you tell me, is the question asking you to show the calculation, the cash flow of the spot market as well? No, there is a call and a put which exist in the same stock. There is no guarantee or no liability or obligation that a buyer has to buy the stock in the spot market. Why? We are dealing in the option market, and in option market there is the cash flow of 60 or 65 will never happen. It will always be the settlement price. So this 60 is totally wrong. What to do in exam, sir? You cannot help it, man. You have to do it like this only. But this question was just asked in RTP November 2012, and I don't think so they have asked afterwards. So don't give much of the importance to that. But understand the meaning of expiration date cash flows. This is the correct answer. Okay, sir. second part. Now we have to calculate the expiration date investment value. First of all, on expiry, there is no investment. Investment is always done at the beginning, and investment in the option is nothing but the premium. So when you calculate expiration date investment value, this is something which is which is where you will get confused, because investment happens at the beginning, not at the expiry. What we can do in this part is we can change the question itself. By looking at the answer, we can understand what exactly they want us to calculate. They want us to calculate the gross payoff. And that has been already done by us in the first part. See, 510 minus 510 or 10 5. This is 510 minus 510 and 10 5. So this is what the second part is. And if this is what the first part was. So basically, the meaning of expiration date cash flow and the gross payoff is same. The expiration date cash flows and the gross payoff is same. Next thing, expiration date net profit. How do you calculate the net profit? This is correct by the institute as well. It's very simple, sir. If I take this second part, I am doing it my own way because the entire question has been juggled up now. B. Let's say if we want to calculate investment value only, not expiration date. So what will happen? It's very simple. If you buy the option, you pay the premium. Whether it is call or put, you buy the option, you pay the premium. So your premium amount will be like this. Am I right? And the same, if you are buyer of the option and you are paying the premium, you will be paying the premium to the writer of the option. So he will receive it simply. This is the investment value for both of you. Okay. If you are buyer of the put option, you will be, this is your investment, and this will be received by the writer of the option. Now the third part, net profit. How do you calculate the net profit? It is nothing but gross payoff or gross profit minus premium. Now understand. How to calculate that? It's very simple, sir. See, at expiry, these are the cash flows. At the beginning, these are the cash flows. You do the total of it and you will get the net profit. See, in this case, there is no cash flow at the end, but there is an outflow at the beginning. So this plus this minus 9. Again, minus 9, minus 9, minus 9. But now this 5 minus 9 is minus 4. So in this way, you will have to come to the figure. It will look like minus 9, minus 9, minus 9, minus 4 in this case, because 5 is the gross payoff, minus 9 is the premium, and in this case it is 1. 10 is the payoff. See, 10 is the profit, gross profit, premium is 9, so 1. Okay. In the other case, it will be plus 9, plus 9, plus 9, plus 4, and minus 1. That's it simply. Whatever the buyer is receiving or paying, it will be paid or received by the writer. Okay, in the other case, it will be 10 rupees received by the buyer of the put minus 1 of the premium. So 9, 5 minus 1, 4. Then minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. Minus 9, minus 4, plus 1. Plus 1, plus 1. This is nothing but the net profit, sir, at all point. So you can just cross check your answer with this one. See. minus 9 minus 9 minus 9 minus 4 1, then 9 9 9 4 minus 1, 9 9 9 4 minus 1, 9 4 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 9. Okay, everything is right. Okay, so do you understand this question? There is some ambiguity in the question, but we cannot help it. Okay, we are done with the payoff. From the very beginning of this options concept, we have been calculating in every question the profit and loss on option settlement. We also call it as payoffs, right? And we are done with question number 51 as well. Now we will be seeing how to do the hedging with the option. Then we will try to calculate value of the call option as well. So let me take a break and I will be back within 5 minutes. So welcome back everyone after this break, and now we have this question. This question is related to hedging with options. This question is related to hedging with options. Okay, let's have a look on this. Ram holding shares of Reliance Industries Limited, which is currently selling at 1000 rupees. So let's first draw the timeline. This is question number 52. Am I right? So Ram is holding the share in the spot market of Reliance Industries Limited worth 1000 rupees. Now, he is expecting that this price will further fall due to lower than expected level of profits to be announced after 1 month. So what is he is scared of? He is scared of the prices to go down to, let's say for example, 900 rupees. Anything, but the prices has to go down. And if that happens, there will be a loss of 100 rupees to you in the spot market. Now, you cannot control whether the prices are going to go up or down. You have to make such an arrangement that this falling prices will give you gain in some other market, which will compensate you for this loss, and that's called as hedging. So how can you gain from the falling prices in the options market? It's very simple, sir. If you are expecting that the prices are going to fall, instead of buying the asset, you will sell that asset. But in this options market, we have call and put option. Call options means right to buy the asset, and put option means right to sell the asset. When you are already having a buy position in the share, why are you going to take a call option in the options market? Are you going to buy call or buy put in this market? Tell me, if you want to do the hedging. Call means right to buy the asset at expiry. Why I will buy the asset when I'm already holding it? Why I'm going to buy it again? Buy cannot settle the transaction, right? So I'm not going to take a call option in this case. I will take a put option. Now understand, put options means right to sell the asset. When you are already holding the asset here, you get a right to sell the asset at expiry. Obviously, I should be fixing the price today itself at which I can sell the asset, because I have one at the beginning. It's simple. Buy position can be closed with a sell position only. So we need a right to sell the asset that we have already holding. So if you have, let's say for example, I have one phone in this case, and after 1 year, how can I close this position? By selling this. So I need a right to sell the asset. So you will not be buying the call option. It is the put option that you are going to go for if you want to do the hedging. How? Let's see. Now you have been given with the following option contracts. You can see that the strike price is 1030 and it's a call option with a premium of 40. Trust me one thing, you are not going to buy any of the call option, because the purpose will not be solved in that case. You are already holding 1000 rupees of the share, and again you are going to buy it at 1030. It will make you to, like, the total portfolio will be double. You will have double the number of shares in that case. I don't want to double it now. I just want to make sure that the share that I am having should not suffer losses, and if it is suffering losses, I should get a profit on the same share in some other market. Okay, so the only thing that you are going to do is you are going to buy a put option, any out of these four. This gives you the right to sell the asset. Why do you want the right to sell? Because you already own one. Okay, now trust me one thing, when you want to sell it, market also knows that you will be selling it, you would want to sell it at a highest possible price, and a strike price with a highest number or a highest strike price will attract more premium. See, you can clearly see here, if you want to sell the asset and the strike price you choose to be at 990, then the premium is 35 rupees. The lesser amount of a selling price, the lesser will be the premium. It's obvious in the market that anyone would want to sell the asset at a higher price. So you can choose the higher price, but you will have to pay higher premium also. So this depends upon you, which type of option you select. Accordingly, you will have to pay the premium. Now, Ram is interested in selling his stock holding as he cannot afford to lose more than 5% of its value. Now understand, instead of doing forget about this market. He is thinking that I should sell the share at this point itself at 1000 rupees. Because if he waits for 1 month or so, he is scared that the prices can go down to 900 or 800 as well, and he doesn't want to lose more than 5% of his position. So 5% of its value means 5% of its value means 50 rupees. That means the maximum that he can afford, the maximum or we can say the minimum value that he can afford for the share is 950 rupees. If the share price goes below 950, he will not be able to afford that loss, and that's why he's thinking that the prices will go down to 900, and at this price we cannot afford to have 100 rupees of the loss, and that's why I am thinking, the Ram is thinking that let's sell the share at this price itself. Can you help him out without selling the share? Can you help him out? Can you do the hedging on these shares? Yes, sir. Without selling the share in the spot market, the only thing that we have to do is we have to take a put option. Why put? We will be having the right to sell, and we can fix the price today itself. Okay. We don't want to lose more than 5%. So the minimum strike price of the put option should be 950. Minimum to minimum, I should get a right to sell the asset at this price, because below this I cannot afford. So the minimum selling value that I need is 950, and 950 is the strike price in this case. We have a put option available with a strike price of 950, but we will have to pay the premium of 8 rupees in that case. So yes, you can, without selling the asset, you can buy put option with a strike price of 950, but remember that it comes with a cost of 8 rupees as a premium. So this is the solution. Recommend a hedging strategy with option and show his position will be protected. Show how his position will be protected. Instead of selling the stock of Reliance Limited, Ram must cover his risk by buying or going long on put option. So yes, he has to buy the option, but which option? Put option. This gives him the right to sell. Okay, after that, if he decides to buy the put option, he has to select which strike price, because higher the strike price, more will be the premium that he has to pay. Okay. Now, with appropriate strike price, since Ram's risk appetite is 5%, the most suitable strike price in put option shall be 950, because he's ready to afford a loss of maximum of 5%. So 1000 minus 5% is the 950. So he needs 950 at any cost. Nothing below that is acceptable. Obviously, you can go up at 970 and 990 obviously, but you will have to pay more premium also in that case. So let's assume that he is buying the put option at 950. What will happen after 1 month? You can just take any figure of the spot price and you will know that he is getting 950 for sure. See, at least, let's say this is the portfolio and he has purchased in the spot market, his value is 1000, and in the put option his value is 950. Okay. Now what if after 1 month the price goes to 900 as expected by us, or the price goes to 1000 or 1100? Okay. Now if the price goes to 900, we will have a loss of 100 rupees in the spot market. Can you see that? Right? And or else we can do one thing. We will have the stock value of 900 rupees. If we sell the share, we will get 900 rupees in the market, and if the market price goes to 1100 and we sell the shares, we will get 1100. So this is going to be the cash inflow to you at that time if you sell the asset. But what will happen to put option? See, put option is exercised only when the strike price is greater than the spot price. We want 950 to be higher than the spot price to exercise this option. In this case, if the market price goes to 900, I have the right to sell it at 950, and I will exercise this right because I can sell it at a higher price. The moment I will exercise the option, I will get 50 rupees from the stock exchange as a settlement price. Settlement of the put option, 50 rupees, the difference between these two. When the market itself is allowing me to sell the shares at 1100 rupees, why I will sell it at 950? So 950 is not higher than 1100. This condition is not satisfied there, and that's why I will let the option lapse. Once the option lapses, you will not receive anything in that case. So just have a look on this. What is exactly happening? Minimum to minimum, you will be getting 950 for sure, and maximum, there is no limit to that. It can be 1200, 1300 also. Acha, you take 700 rupees in this case. What will happen? You will sell the shares in the spot market at 700 rupees and you will exercise the put option because this is what you have the right to sell. If the market price is 700, you can sell the asset at 950. So obviously you are going, this condition is satisfied and you will exercise the option. Stock exchange will give you 250 extra and again you will have 950. So the minimum or the downside is limited now. It cannot go below 950. You told us now that you need 950 at any cost. So 950 is secured. Either you will get 950 or more than that, but not below 950. So this is how you do the hedging. This is hedging. I can afford a loss of 5% only by considering that we purchased a put option at 950, and you can clearly see that my minimum value that I will receive at the end from both the markets is 950. And that is what I was telling you. See, if there is a loss of 300 rupees, you can clearly see there is a loss of 300 rupees in the spot market. There is a loss of 300 rupees in the spot market if the prices goes down, but there is a profit in the options market of 250. So the net loss is only 50 rupees, which you can afford. That's what the question says. The loss will not go beyond 50 rupees. So this is how we do the hedging. If we have a long position in the spot market, we buy a right to sell. Because we have a long option, we will take a right to sell. If we would have been if this position would have been short, then we would have bought the call option, right to buy. Okay, sir, this is little difficult to understand, but yeah, the only thing that you need to understand is the cost of 8 rupees that you have to pay in the beginning. So that is again another kind of a loss above 50 rupees. 8 rupees is the cost of put option that you need to pay in the very beginning to have these cash flows, minimum of 950 and 1100. Okay, sir. So this question is over. Sir, what exactly is the answer to this question? I just got confused. I will tell you. You had a long position in the spot market. You had this, you didn't want to lose on that share more than 50 rupees. So the answer is, the hedging is buy put option worth the strike price with the strike price of 950, which is worth 8 rupees. 8 rupees is the only expense to you for hedging your position in the spot market. More than 8 rupees, you will not lose anything. Above 950 or 950 will be the minimum cash flow to you. That is what you ensured. So this is how we have to do the transaction. Now is the time to find out how to calculate the theoretical value of the option. Let me first go through the previous question. This 8 rupees is the value of the option. In this case, it was put option. Again, in the previous question, these 9 rupees and 1 rupees, which is the premium of the option, is the value of the option. In the previous question, this 6.5 and 10 rupees, which was the premium of call and put option, was the value of the option. In the previous question to that, the premium of the option was 5 rupees. 5 rupees and 6 rupees. So now we will see how to calculate the theoretical price of this option. Understand the logic now. This option contract can also be used by a speculator. This was the case of a hedger, where he had the position in the spot market and he wanted to protect this with the help of the options contract. But what if there is no position? What if there is no position in the spot market and still you enter into options market just to gain or lose? Obviously you will come to gain, but you may gain or lose just by entering into the options. So you will buy options and then you will sell it, or you will sell the option then you will buy it just to make the profit. And when you say you want to buy the option, you look at the premium. Premium is the value of the option. So if you want to buy call option today which is worth 10, this is the actual market price. This is the actual market price, and let's say this is 3 months option 1, 2 and 3. The moment you pay 10 rupees, you get that option. You have bought the option for 3 months. It is going to expire automatically after 3 months. What happens is that you can sell that option at any point of time. You can sell it here as well, here as well, here as well, here as well, any point. So whenever you are going to sell that option, the premium of that option on that date will matter. This will be the selling price. Suppose the options premium today is 10 rupees. You pay 10 rupees and then you get the option. And on this date you want to sell the option. This is yet to expire, right? Because expiry is at this date. This is yet to expire. On this date, if you want to sell the option, you will have to find out the market value or the premium on that date. Let's say the premium on that date is 12 rupees. So you bought the option at 10 rupees, you will sell it at 12 rupees and you can grab the profit of 2 rupees. So there are people who only makes the transaction or enters into the transaction with options. They buys the option, they sell the option, and then they try to make sure that they profit from it. There are lots of traders in the market who do this. Even I have done it. That is purely for the purpose of profit. Understand this, okay? So the question is how to decide whether we should buy the option or sell the option. It's very simple, sir. Again, I will go to the basics. There are 3 people: hedger, speculator and arbitrator. Let's think from the angle of the arbitrator. You have seen a question on the hedger. Speculator is very easy, sir. I will tell you the speculator thing. It's take buy position in the beginning, sell it at the end, or sell in the beginning, buy it at the end. There will be some gain or loss. You cannot do anything else. But arbitrator is something who does some research in the market to make sure there is no loss and only gain. Now understand, what happens in the case of arbitrator is he wants profit without any risk. Okay, so he goes to the market, whether it is a call option or put option. What he does is he look at the market price. Let's say the call option is available in the market at 10 rupees. His first action will be whether this price is correct or not. Whether the price is correct or not. So what he is going to do, he is going to calculate the theoretical market price. Then he will compare the actual market price with the theoretical market price. And now understand, if the actual market price is greater than theoretical market price, we will say that the particular option, whether it is call or put, is overvalued. And the action will be sell option. Okay. If actual market price is less than theoretical market price, his decision will be option is undervalued. Means it's available at a cheaper rate. And the action will be buy option. So understand, the arbitrator is someone who does the transaction in both the market. Speculator does the transaction only in the derivatives market because he just need profit and loss. And hedger is a person who might have the position already in the spot market, and then he wants to do the hedging or protect his position in the cash market with the help of the derivatives. So most of the time hedger will be having a position in the spot market already, and then he takes the position in the derivatives. He takes the position only in the derivatives or options, and he takes the position in both the market only after analyzing the situation whether there is a possibility of profit or not. So what is the difference between hedger and arbitrager? Hedger had the position already, and that's why he took the position in the derivatives. He is just exploring the prices in both the market. Now, if he has decided that his action in the derivatives market or options market is sell option, sell position has been decided in the option market, what do you think he is going to do in the spot market? This is for sure that he is going to enter into both the markets. And arbitrators, one thing which you should know for the arbitrator is he always buys cheap, buys from a cheaper market and sell it in a higher market or costlier market. So if we have already decided where we are going to sell, what exactly is going to do in the spot market? He will buy spot. Whatever the stock or index or commodity or currency is, he is going to take a long position in the spot market, means buy position. Why? Because the other position has already been taken in the derivatives market. Okay. In order to buy in the spot market, he will have to borrow money. Now you can remember, now you can understand that the logic is very much similar to the futures market. If there is a sell in the derivative market, take opposite position in the spot market, and to buy, we need to borrow money. So this is going to happen. Okay. If we have a buy position in the derivatives market, we will take a sell position, which is little unpractical, you can say. Sell position in the spot market, and once you sell it, you are going to invest that money. So this is what you are going to do at time zero. Time zero. Now understand. When you borrow, you will receive money. When you buy the stock, you will pay money, the cash outflow. When you borrow, just one thing. When you borrow, there is a cash inflow. When you buy the stock, there is a cash outflow. And when you sell the option to someone else, you will have a cash inflow of the premium amount, because you are a writer of the option. Someone else is a buyer of the option. He is paying the premium to you. There is a cash inflow to you. So what you can do is, if the stock is costing you 100 rupees, okay, and the option premium is, let's say, 5 rupees. So you have one idea that I can get a 5 rupees of the cash inflow from the option selling. So in order to borrow, you can just make sure that you are borrowing only 95, not exactly 100, but 95. Because you borrow 95 from here and 5 you can collect from by selling the option. So total will be 100 with you, and you can just buy the stock at 100 rupees. So this is going to be your zero cash flow portfolio, zero investment portfolio. This is called as zero investment portfolio, because you knew that you are going to get 5 rupees from the option selling. You just borrowed 95 only. So 95 plus 5 rupees, you have 100. With that you bought the stock. So zero. Now what are you going to do at the expiry or at the settlement time? You just take the opposite position in each of them and close it. In order to close it, if you have sold the option, you buy it back. If you have a buy position in the stock in spot market, you take a sell position and close it down. You borrowed money, you repay it. So net profit will be, the net outflow or inflow will be a profit to you. There will always be a gain in arbitrage. Otherwise, there won't be a transaction at the beginning, at first itself. Okay. So this is how it is going to work. Now, the topic that I wanted to discuss in the entire scenario is how to calculate this theoretical market price. There are multiple ways to calculate this theoretical market price. Okay.
And I took Cristiano to the room and I said, Cristiano, look, the daddy used to live here. And he looked at me, you joke, no? And I say, "Yeah, no, Daddy, don't joke. I live here." And he didn't believe. He didn't believe because what he see now, he don't imagine what we sacrifice, the hardest time that he had. He don't believe.